my opinion is they're doing what they're doing. Now, why they are doing it, I have never delved right into that. And I say that the procedure that I would use if I was talking to a white person is just look at whatever it is they're doing. And if they're doing something harmful or doing something constructive, just whatever they're doing, particularly if I have a complaint, the question, the logical question, I try to follow the logic. I ask the people who are doing what they're doing why they are doing it. And then I listen and see if they're going to try to deceive me in giving their answer, because that's the thing I'll be looking for, whether or not they give a deceptive answer. Now, they may just tell the truth. I don't expect that to happen. If it's a white person who I think is practicing racism, and I'm going to ask the question of why are you practicing racism? Why are you mistreating people? Racism means you're mistreating people based on color. Why are you doing this? Ask the person who's doing it. See, now you can get different opinions from other people. I might have my opinion. But an excellent start would say, I'm looking at you doing what you're doing. And not only are you doing it, but you're bragging about doing it. You put it in your history books and all like that. So you're doing it. I mean, you're a slave master. Say if I'm a slave and I'm talking to the slave master and we want to have an honest conversation, I just simply ask the slave master, why are you a slave master? And that I am a servant to that slave master, that I am a slave to the master. Why have you made me your slave? And please tell me the truth. Now, they may not tell me the truth, but then I would expect that. But then maybe I could ask someone else, maybe another slave, and maybe that slave would know, would be able to see something that I don't see. But I'm saying all problems are solved by the process of questions and answers. That's every problem in the universe. If you ask enough people enough questions and you get enough answers, and then you go around and try to see symptoms of what you're talking about, whatever the questions and answers are, the truth at some point will jump out at you. It'll literally jump out at you so that you don't really have to ask anybody anything. But you have to initially, if you're confused, ask everybody that you can possibly get to answer a question and get everybody's opinion. Because no one has ever solved a race problem. It's never been done. I mean, people trying to scratch back in history and all like that. In the 1970s, they had black people chasing around trying to find out what we call find out who we are. That was usually the expression used, without anybody going into detail of what are you looking for to find out who you are for. You are a victim of white supremacy. Now, you want to find out how you got to be that way? Now, that's the kind of history you should be looking for, because I always say when you study history, you should most of all be looking for the mistakes that were made that culminated in you being in the shape that you're in now. That's the main reason for studying history. But the white supremacists had black people for the last 20 years studying black history so that we could brag about ourselves, which they don't mind us doing. They say, you're a bunch of slaves, you're right under my foot. I got my foot on your neck. And what you want to do is brag about yourself and your ancestors? Go right ahead. I have no problem. Just march up and down the street and brag all you want to, as long as you are under my foot while you're bragging. And that you're not going to get from under my foot, because you'll never find anything in history that will tell you how to get from under my foot. Otherwise, you couldn't have gotten under my foot in the first place. All of your ancestors made a huge mistake because I outfoxed them. So you won't learn anything there about how to deal with me, and logic ought to tell you that. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But every general in every army, or every messiah that's worth anything, is a person that faces the truth about being a loser. And black people are losers. And we got to find out how it came about that we lost. Because that's what we complain about. But when people talk to us about it, we find an excuse to start bragging about our condition. Looking around for any little scraps that we can brag about. Brag about our culture without even being able to describe it. I put it on a blackboard once. I put the two words on the top of the board, black culture. And then I asked a large audience of black people, and I've done this several times. How do you describe black culture? Which means, let's get a definition for it, something that black people do that nobody else does. So give me something. Give me something to put on the board. Give me something to put on this board, please. Finally, after about 10 minutes, somebody feebly said, music. I said, okay, let's examine that.